Georgia gets the honors. Last one to go and announce himself this morning. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Stream the 21st. Freedom Friday is here. What an exciting time to be part of DJ International. As you heard, just people calling in from coast to coast, border to border. Just incredible events all across the nation and really all across the globe at this point. We have got incredible events that are being hosted by premier leaders in the industry that are really making the process of exposing people to the DJ story so simple and so easy if we tap into these events. And so thanks for those individuals that came on and just professionally announced those upcoming events. And I know we got lots more. Definitely want to go to your events page, want to go to your team websites as well. We want to stay plugged in with your, excuse me, we want to stay plugged in with your plugged-in leaders that have those contacts with those individuals all across the nation. One of the best things that you can do is get people to those events and get them introduced to some of the people that you personally know at those events. And that's one of the reasons why getting, for example, to the international conventions, meeting people, developing relationships is so key because it is truly a relationship business. Certainly we have a product that makes a huge difference in our lives, but it's a product that changes people. This is really a people business. So exciting. It's the energy that we have bringing in all across the nation, and very excited to go ahead and share with you this Friday, June 21st, cycle 63, period 63, cycle 3, and it's Freedom Friday indeed. What does that mean? For all the new people that we have on the line, Freedom Friday really means it's a special day of allowing ourselves to present the rest of the story to people in DJ Nation that we have initially exposed to some sort of a story, whether it was the Tuesday night opportunity call this week, or the Wednesday night product call with our formulator Rusty Alki. Maybe it was even the question and answer session with Dr. Joshua Plant on Thursday morning, or even the opportunity call on Thursday night with Fred Holmes, which was an incredible call in a lot of ways. And very excited to go ahead and share that there's events all over that you can expose your prospects to, build their belief, and build your belief as well, because being at those events is a huge part of being involved in DJ Nation. It's been long said in this industry that when you go to the event and you have a guest, you need the event. And that means that you want that event to be incredibly powerful. Telephone opportunity call, whether it's a Super Saturday or the early night. So when you go to the event, you have expectations that the event will support you. But the other side of the coin is that even when you don't have a guest, the event needs you. And that's just the give and take, the yin and yang that you do within the universe. And that's what I wanted to talk about today on Freedom Friday, is to put ourselves in a position to be within the rhythms and the cycles, ladies and gentlemen, of what's going on in this industry. It's been long known within this industry that the greatest harvest every single year after year, it's 70 plus years of experience within network marketing, is that every single fall there's huge levels of growth and momentum in those companies that take advantage of the event, and those individual businesses that take advantage of having personal momentum. So I want to talk a little bit about the rhythms of life, the rhythms of the universe. Certainly we have an example going on this weekend, and many people are calling it the super moon. It's really the closest moon that's going to happen to the planet Earth this year in 2013. It happens on June 23rd. And why that's so important is because it's part of the rhythms of the universe. And you can see that. You can see that manifested, really Saturday night, June 22nd, for most of the United States, and certainly, June 23rd, Sunday. So you can see that, where you're going to be able to access a huge, it's going to look like you actually touch the moon. And why that's relevant to our discussion here is that it's part of the rhythms of nature. Well, our business has rhythms with it as well. And part of those rhythms, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're doing here today on the Guiding Focus call, what we call Daily Friday. What is the rhythm that you have in your business that you have individuals who are completing the process of getting decisions? See, many times decisions in the process of marketing, we're often sometimes afraid of that decision that they could say, no, and guess what? They can also say yes. But the reality is that a decision is a good thing, ladies and gentlemen, because it gives us finality about what is the next step. It's been said for quite some time that a confused mind does nothing. But what a decision does is it provides clarity. Nothing to be confused about when you make a decision. And so the decision is that we're looking for people. Yes, I will be at your PBR. For example, I have numerous PBRs this weekend up in the Seattle, Washington area with one of my teams. Very excited about the fact that they are running through the tape of the beginning of summer. Many times individuals are using this time to kind of catch up, if you will, to maybe some of the things that they wanted to do during the busyness of spring, and nothing wrong with taking a few days, if you will, to actually take advantage of family time. But one of the things that is so common within the societies and industrialized nations is we have a tendency, especially in the U.S., quite honestly, ladies and gentlemen, is we have a tendency to not just take off a day or two. We have a tendency to take off a week, and boy, a week in this industry is absolutely huge. This is a very, very dynamic industry where within the context of the day, because it's been many times, I think everybody will nod once they hear it, you have the highest of highs and the lowest lows in this industry within your life, and many times, and it can be within one day, that you will have a very same feeling. And it takes a temperament to get through those highs and emotional highs and emotional lows. But the fact is, we are a dynamic industry. And so allowing ourselves to move from the cycle of free, your cycle 3 on June 21st versus cycle 4 that's coming up next Friday. So the question that we're going to ask ourselves, what is the rhythm in our challenge? Another way to look at that is what are the habits that we are already in place within our Freedom Friday mindset, okay? And it is truly a mindset. It's absolutely fascinating to watch, where you can actually see the numbers in your business grow within individual people's businesses that understand the concept of Freedom Friday, of what I call running through the tape. See, a sprinter, they run through the tape. What did Secretariat do to set those records that probably will never be matched, quite honestly? The fact of the matter is, what did Secretariat do? Ran through the tape. They ran through the final, steps of the race, and that's what we want to treat Freedom Friday as, is that we want to take momentum to the next cycle, okay? And so many times what we want to do here, Freedom, is we want to take a look at who is eligible to possibly go and get SNEAM 250 qualified. Who's on the verge, maybe not 200 points. I've seen that it hurts, where individuals are not aware. I do their very best to help, coach people and keep track of all that. But, certainly your leaders can't do everything. But what you want to do is you want to know within your own business, your personally sponsored individuals that are on the verge of actually, maybe being 25 points short of qualifying for Q250, okay? And by the way, if you are in a position where your personal sponsor is not personally engaged in DJ, it's okay. Because of the fact is that they have an upline, and you want to reach up to that person. And what I encourage you as leaders to do is to reach back. This is what I call balcony people. People that are reaching down to pull people up to where they're at. That's what leadership is about. It's a great read, by the way, in our personal development, a book entitled Balcony People. I read it over 20 read about the opportunity to pull people out of the crap bucket, if you will, to pull people out. Well, that's what leaders do, and that's what you want to be doing is in a position of leaders on the line today, is that if you've got an individual that their personal sponsor is not there, treat them as your personal sponsor. With our enrollment tree that we have set up within our comp plan, whether they are the person that you personally sponsored, that's the entire enrollment tree. And as we all know, we need to have builder 500s within each of those enrollment trees. And so what we do is we identify people within each of those enrollment trees that we can work with. And so as a leader on Freedom Friday, what we have the opportunity to do is to guide them to not only, for example, finish the qualification to G250, and truly know the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Oftentimes we hear that business is a numbers game. Certainly numbers tell a story about people working with people. And I always go back to this. This is a people business, but numbers tell the story of people. Okay? So never forget that. And so get yourself in a position where to identify a few people, or 3 to 5 people, for example, if you're brand new. Well, if you're just starting out your team and you've got one person that you personally sponsored, that's the one person you should personally focus on. And helping them understand the culture of Freedom Friday. And see, the culture aspect of what we do here at Freedom Friday, absolutely huge, because it's the type of movement. As I said, I began at the beginning of the hour of the introduction, I call it the Moringa movement. Okay? Is there a movement in your business taking this story to the masses? Okay? Well, we can do that by developing a culture of finishing Freedom Friday strong, ladies and gentlemen. And so I encourage you to put yourself in a position, whether you have 1 or 2 people that you're working with on every Freedom Friday, go ahead and pick up the phone and contact them and see if they want to go ahead and run for the next 10. Okay, so maybe you've got an individual in your business that's a silver executive, and guess what? They've only been qualified maybe at a over 1,000 level. Okay, and they really want to get to gold. They want to get that gold section. One of the best things that you can do is give them a call, get permission from them to work with them today, that they can re-qualify. Let's go for bronze. And quite honestly, in our comp plan, the difference between bronze and silver, if you've got a business that's healthy, the difference between bronze and silver is very small. Quite honestly, when you consider teamwork. But the reality is, if we can get them incrementally back to re-qualify silver, and then get them consistently every Freedom Friday qualifying for bronze and for silver, and then that builds a new end for gold. And the way we do that is working with people. Okay? So I encourage you to go ahead and identify a few people on Freedom Friday that will qualify for your time. Okay? It's been said that the most significant thing that you can do in a healthy business is to identify those people that qualify for your time. And I like to live by this adage, and that is behavior never lies. See, I look at their behavior if they respond to my outreach, if you will, to helping them, if you will, as a balcony person, to come up to a new level of thinking. Matter of fact, it was just such a pleasure to work with that emerging team up in Seattle, sharing with him that every single time that you are working with somebody, every single time you're having a conversation, somebody's buying and somebody's selling. Somebody's buying a philosophy, somebody's buying an idea, and somebody's selling an idea. And it's kind of funny that people say, well, I'm really not into sales. I don't really get sales. It's always been intriguing to me because the whole industrialized nation, and really the whole world, the whole planet for that matter, is all based on sales. Okay? But it's not just sales of, for example, of an item or a service. It's the selling of an idea. Because that's what we do as leaders on Freedom Friday, is the idea that this is worthy of putting time and energy into. And so I just encourage us to get into the rhythms within our business of running through the tape on Freedom Friday. And as I mentioned earlier, rhythms and network marketing are absolutely huge, because if we have a healthy Freedom Friday, today in Cycle 3, we can even have a healthier finality through the period on Cycle 4 next Friday. But it begins today. And so I just encourage us to have an opportunity to take advantage of all that's in front of us here on Freedom Friday. For example, another example is we have incredible events to build people's belief. Every single event is a rhythm of building from event to event. And so one of the key things is those events, whether they're an opportunity call, whether they're a web link, whether there's a product call, whatever the case might be, that event is designed to build belief. Okay? And so when we actually are building belief before a big event, for example, the Super Saturdays that we heard about, and you build the funnel, and maybe they just heard the parts of the Zeta story for maybe an opportunity call. They just heard a portion of it to build their belief. So when they get to the Super Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, they'll have a higher level of belief to make a positive decision to get involved in Duke International, a positive decision to utilize our product, a positive decision to be a business builder, for example. Okay? Those events are huge if we utilize them, again, using the rhythms of life to build people's belief. Okay? So I just encourage you to allow yourself to win by having the philosophy that you have a mindset that is going to build people's beliefs with the actual event that's in front of them, okay? So we'll talk a little bit about nuts and bolts of what we do here at Zeta Nation. And so the reality is that we want to have people on the phone hearing the Zeta story from the system that we have in place. And one of the key things that this does, ladies and gentlemen, is it takes the theoretical knowledge of being involved in network marketing into activity knowledge. The activity knowledge is what the marketplace rewards. It's what our comp plans reward. And activity knowledge is exposing the people. As I was looking over my previous notes from many years of journals, and we call it for years STP, show me the plan. How many STPs have you personally in your business this week? How many times do you show the plan to people about what the Zeta compensation plan is, or the Zeta business model that we have, ladies and gentlemen? How many people did you show the plan one-on-one? How many people did you show the plan in a PBR? Okay, and the wonderful thing about showing the plan with PBRs is you're not just showing it to one person, you're showing it to multiple people. But now you're just because the mindset we have about your event is crucial to the outcome of what you're going to get at the end of the day. Okay? So I just encourage you, take the risk that says, I'm going to pick up the phone and get to speak to people for exactly where they're at, process of building their belief. Okay? So what it does, what I art of promotion, we've all heard about the art of promotion, and really promoting events is just an absolute artistry. Of course, one of the best industry I have ever seen has been David Moses. He does an incredible job of creating value for persons being at that event. For example, on the invitation, as you're inviting people to be exposed, whether it's a PBR or Super Saturday and an opportunity call, you're going to come up with excuses. You're going to come up with objections. You know what? I have to go ahead and take my cat to get his hair trimmed, on Saturday. I can't make it to the Super Saturday. Okay? When I hear things of that nature, I'm in a position where I have to elevate their thinking. And I give them an opportunity. Don't force them, but I give them an opportunity. And I just ask a simple question. Could you actually reschedule that? Because this event in Atlanta, for example, is at Hazelberry, or the Super Saturday in Chicago, this event could be the most important event of life and certainly of 2013. Is there any way to reschedule that? Just ask a simple question. See, when you create the value in the art of promotion, people respond to that only if you create a picture that they're going to have a fear of loss. Okay? Because the reality is that we respond in human nature to the fear of loss versus the ability to gain far more because of the fact that we don't want to lose out. So to create the value that they have an opportunity to meet some of the top leaders in their community, some of the top testimonies of the people that had the most dramatic effect with results and benefits from the product here at DJ International. Whatever the case is, they're going to be able to build their belief that they can make a decision, and the more likely it's going to be a positive decision because of the fact they were exposed to the process of people, for example, giving their personal testimony, because again, this is such a people-oriented business. And so I encourage you to allow yourself to win with the art of promotion, getting people to this event, and allowing Freedom Friday to not just be another day that goes by without a significant cultural change in your business. As it's been said many, many times, leader of one, leader of many. If I can't lead one, I can't lead in. In order to create that culture, we have to be engaged in it firstly. What is our personal philosophy about Freedom Friday? You know, I love the fact that there are some companies, certainly some teams, even some teams within DJ International, that Freedom Friday leads to just a Super Saturday of PBRs within their business. What if you knew that you had 7 PBRs scheduled in your business, and you were only doing, maybe you were doing the closeout on 3 or 4 of them, okay? And your leaders are doing, the new leaders are doing, excuse me, are doing the closeouts on the remainder, okay? And maybe some of your uplines doing some of those closeouts. And you notice I'm using the word closeouts with PBRs. I'm talking about push play PBRs, using our new media resources DVD to build belief and let people see that duplication because of the fact that you've engaged in the system of building from event to event and using the rhythms of life to help you build that story and belief within your prospects within your own team, for example. It's very important for your team to be involved in those rhythms of being involved in, for example, Saturday trainings, okay? One of the most significant things that I experienced in my career is that every Saturday in Santa Rosa, California, you know, for example, in my career 10, 15 years ago, what happened is that when my belief was growing in the industry, I could hardly wait to get Saturday training. Why? Because I got to hear personal testimonies about success. I got to hear personal testimonies about the product, about the business, and I got to hear trainings from the top leaders. Get yourself to those events, ladies and gentlemen. Also, here's another very important event for people all around the nation on Saturday. If you can't be at a local event, and quite honestly, if you can drive to that event within 2 to 3 hours, it's a local event, okay? Again, I've had the misfortune of seeing individuals that had a local event that was 45 minutes away, and they said that it was just too far to go. My goodness, sometimes you have people that are flying across the nation to be at those events to bring their goodness that you could partake in. So certainly make yourself and put yourself in a position to be at those Saturday events. But one of the Saturday events that really, quite honestly, it's really picking up steam. It's so good to see it, and that is the Saturday morning training call. Okay, that's part of Freedom Friday because we enroll some people in our business today because we're finishing up the process of exposing them earlier in the week. And so we've got an event for them to build belief and understanding that they can do this business with a very, very great system. Our Fast Start Saturday training calls that are just absolutely becoming very, very dynamic and very phenomenal in regards to getting the results of moving along with building your business, to becoming Builder 500 within the first week, to becoming speed qualified. Matter of fact, I love how some teams really in the culture in their business of becoming speed qualifying, of showing people how to become speed qualified within the first 48 hours. I know, for example, Doug Schmidt is very renowned for that on this team, and that is that they coach people. What are we going to do within the first 48 hours to get you speed qualified? Because that is such a significant time in people's business, is that those first 48 hours, those first 72 hours are very significant because the enthusiasm is so high. We have to take advantage of that for their benefit, not our benefit, ladies and gentlemen, for their benefit. Isn't it true? They're the ones that are going to get the free product. They're the ones that are going to have that high level of belief that the things their leaders have said are actually true, okay? In other words, made them become a reality. So identify those people who you can work with today that we can finish up this process to get them speed qualified, to get them to 50 if they've been in the company longer than 28 days, to allow them to become Builder 500, as we say, a Builder 500 will create great wealth at Teach International. That's what we want to do, is be a Builder 500 factory. So, where does this all lead you in your personal development plan? Is what I like to call here at Teach International our personal development plan with a comp plan, because we are personally developing in this business with activity knowledge. So anything I can leave with you today on Freedom Friday and this June 21st is that getting to the rhythm of Freedom Friday being a significant event in your business by following through with 2 to 3, 4 people that we can help them whatever level, whatever that threshold is, to the next level, whether it's Builder 500 or it's Platinum or Emerald or above. We certainly have individuals that are qualifying now Diamond and above in very short periods of time. And this is a wonderful thing to see, because it is exactly what we want for people to see in the social proof that Teach International's comp plan works. Okay? We want people to see that what used to take us maybe months to get to gold is now taking people weeks to get to gold, or sometimes even days. So it's certainly exciting to see the momentum going on here at Teach, and very excited to go ahead and know that we've got great things in front of us, as we heard at the top of the call. People calling in from all over the nation, coast to coast, border to border. We certainly want to have an opportunity to get connected with all of those people in the different events around the country, and allow your people to be at those events, ladies and gentlemen. So take this activity knowledge, let this be your greatest teacher, because it will lead to the highest level of knowledge that you can get, in my opinion, in this industry, and that's called modeling knowledge. And what does that mean? It means that you will be watching people that do the business at these events. See, I'll never forget that the most significant thing that ever happened to me is that when I was at an event, I was modeling and watching and studying everything that these people did. I watched how they dressed. I watched how they shook hands. I watched how they smiled. I watched how they cared. I watched how they were in the moment. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's just so refreshing to see when you realize that when you're working in the business, people feel welcome they feel valued in that process of exchange. And that's what we want to do with our Freedom Friday, as we reach out to those individuals all across the nation. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been my good pleasure to go ahead and share with you, to run through the tape, allow yourself to do that last amount of effort on Freedom Friday to take your water temperature from 210 to 11 to, guess what, the next level of 212 is the difference between just hot water and steam power. That's what Freedom Friday is about, allowing yourself to take that last final step in the process of wrapping it up, tying a nice bow International. I love what Ken Burlsford said, is that we have a moral obligation to take this message of CJ International to the people. How selfish it is if we keep this personal. I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, find somebody that you can touch this morning, this afternoon, this evening, with the CJ story for each of them. Each nation. You've heard the incredible results that we're getting around the country with the event. If you can be at those events, I encourage you to drive 2 to 3 hours to be at that event. I remember when I was in Santa Rosa, I used to drive to events in Los Angeles, go to these events, and drive back that same day if I had to. Okay? Why? Because that's what builds key belief. Because people will do what you do, not what you say. Okay? So with that in mind, it's just my pleasure to go ahead and open up the line. If there's any other further announcements that have not been made, anybody on the moderator line with emerald and above, feel free to come to the line and make any comments. And otherwise, we'll wrap it up, and this will be a wrap, and it's waiting Friday. Gentlemen, the lines are now open. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be here. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll see each and every one of you at the top.
Excellent call, Paul. Thank you. There is Schweiss, Santa Cruz, Washington.
Oh, yeah, no.
Thank you, Paul. Great call. Garcia, Ashley, Snellville, Georgia. Great call, Paul.
Michael Jackson, Sacramento, California.
Great call.